Hey, fellow film buffs, it's Englentine here for Xtreme Movie Show. And now we weren't around for the death of Robin Williams, and today is the 5th anniversary of his passing. I figure, what the heck, let's do a little bit of a commemoration. Let's do a best of list, just go through what I would figure is my favorite of the Robin Williams performances. And yeah, just talk about it a little bit. Because I remember, of course, he was the funniest man in America for the longest time. People just laughed out loud. I remember watching him on Robin Williams A Night at the Met on HBO, just losing it. And I didn't even know what half of his jokes meant. Seriously. He just was always funny every time he lit up. If he was showing up on any talk show, you wanted to watch that because you know it'd be funny. And of course his movies, which we're going to count down here. But people my age, our introduction to him was on Happy Days.
Oh, come in. Hi, Ralph. Great Alvin the Chipmunk imitation. Now, come on in and sit down. I'm trying to watch the show.
Good evening, Earthling.
What do you do? Do you just use that to scare people with?
No, keeps rain off my head.
Wait a minute, who are you?
I am Mark from Ark.
Now, I'm not going to blow smoke up anybody's butt and say everything that Robin Williams did was genius. He had some great films, he had some good films, and he had some bad films, just like any other actor. Sometimes you gotta think that maybe he didn't know how to pick scripts, but when it came to comedy, the man was extreme. So, without further ado, let's count them down. Number 10. Anyway, this is probably the most controversial film on the list, because I know as many people who love this film don't like it. And then it's, what did he leave off to put this one on? Well, you know what? I like it. And I think it's a lot of fun because it is a fantasy story. It's a fairy tale. Just like Peter Pan, it was made for kids. And I think that's one of the things that really carry this film, in all honesty. There are some parts where it's a little bit cheesy to the point where you're like, well, that's a little bit uncomfortable, but I still find it a lot of fun. I find the transformation, from Peter Banning to Peter Pan, rediscovering your youth is basically the word of the day. And of course, seize the day, carpe diem, which is always in damn near every Robin Williams movie. And yes, I know that always and damn near are contradictions. They don't actually mean the same thing. So just leave me alone for a moment. Yeah, the supporting cast is there too. Dustin Hoffman and Julia Roberts are a lot of fun as well. Everybody knows what they're doing. Everybody knows the kind of movie in there, and they're having a ball.
I hate Peter Pan.
Number 9.
Robin Williams.
Well, is this a dagger I see before me?
In the most highly acclaimed movie of the year, Dead Poet Society.
Language was developed for one endeavor, and that is
To communicate.
no, to woo women.
The Dead Poet Society. Man, people went crazy for this when it came out. And this was Robin Williams' first Oscar nomination. Now, there are comedies of his that I like better than this film. However, I have to admit that when it comes right down to it, Robin Williams kills in this role. He really wanted the accolades. You could tell he wanted to kind of shake off the comedy bit, show people that what he can do and kind of stretch out. Now, he's not the central focus of the movie, but it's one of those roles and it's one of those performances that even when he's not on screen, he fills the screen with his presence just from what we've seen of him before. And there's very few actors and very few roles in very few movies that has ever done that before. And that's why, even though, once again, I know I'm an outlaw on this one, it wasn't one of my favorite films, I have to include it here because it's still one of my favorite Robin Williams performances. Number 8.
Gotcha. Smile, my boy. It's sunrise.
Teddy Roosevelt in the Night at the Museum films. I like these movies. I like all three of them, although the third one is a little bit weaker compared to the other two. I still enjoy them, and I gotta say, Robin Williams as Teddy Roosevelt is just dead on. Now, he plays kind of a statesman here. He's the guy that Ben Stiller goes to advice for, and you can almost see it as here's a veteran comedic actor, one of the legends, who is giving advice to an up-and-comer. Well, of course, Ben Stiller's been around at this point, but you kind of get the gist of it. And I think Robin Williams just nails it. And for some of it, he is the heart of this film. He is one of those who you cannot take your eyes off of when he is on stage. When he's on screen, he overpowers everybody who is in this film. Now, you could see that as a detriment. You could see it as a plus. I see it as plus. And if you haven't seen the film, I highly recommend you do that. They're very, very enjoyable. Number 7.
What am I? I am what I am! I'm Popeye the Sailor. I'm Popeye the Sailor.
Popeye is another controversial pick, I understand, because not a lot of people enjoy it as much as I do. I have to admit, one of the main reasons I like it as much as I do is for the music. Yeah, and I understand some people see it as a weak spot on Robert Altman's career, but you know what? I don't. I think it's a lot of fun. I like the characters. I love the fact that it's got a great cast. It's, of course, Robin Williams, Shelley Duvall, and a whole bunch of, oh, that guy, and that guy. Oh, my gosh, is that the big guy from Stir Crazy? Yeah. As a matter of fact, one of the best things about this film, or at least one of the most fun, is watching how many actors play more than one role in this film. Anyway, it's a lot of fun to me.
Popeye the Sailor. I am what I am, and that's all that I am. I am what I am, but I am what I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
Number 6.
Maybe you married the wrong woman.
Maybe you should watch your mouth.
Well, that's it, isn't it? You married the wrong woman. What happened? Why'd she leave you? Was she, banging some other guy?
If you ever disrespect my wife again, I will end you. I will fucking end you. Got that, Chief?
Good Will Hunting is an actor's film, and this is the one that Robin Williams won for. And well-deserved win, too. He nails his role here as well. And I think he elevates Matt Damon, tell you the truth. I mean, Matt Damon's a good actor. Let's not take, I can't take anything away from him. And he was nominated for Best Actor for this role as well. But I really do believe that it was his presence, Robin Williams' presence, that made this movie better than it really should have been. If you really think about what you're watching when you see the film, the scenes that really shine, the scenes that really make you go, wow, that is awesome, are the scenes with Robin Williams in it. Yeah, the Ben Affleck scenes are kind of funny. He's the comedic relief in this film, but overall, it's when Matt Damon and Robin Williams, and most importantly Robin Williams, are on screen together that this movie really shines. Number 5.
Gotta talk, mate.
A father's work is never done.
Oh! First, here's a woman. I'm getting hot flashes.
Mrs. Doubtfire was huge when it came out. I was a projectionist when it did. And man, this was one of those movies that surprisingly people clapped at the end. I always thought that was weird because there's no actor or actresses to hear your applause. I would also have to say this is probably Robin Williams at his most powerful. And by that I mean he commanded the screen. He didn't have so many misses as he did hits at this point. He was coming off a couple of Oscar nominations. People saw him as an actor and not just comedian. So coming back to the fold of comedy was safe for him at this point in time. And really, I think this was when he really commanded the most respect he's probably ever had. Outside, of course, of his Oscar win. Because even that, though, ended up with like My Father's Day or whatever, My Two Dads, whatever it was called, Father's Day, right after it. So, yeah, that kind of got messed up. But Mrs. Doubtfire, it's easy to see why people love this movie. Number 4.
Picture a man going on a journey beyond sight and sound. He's entered the demilitarized zone.
Good morning, Vietnam! Wow! I feel good. Time to rocket from the Delta to the DMZ.
Good Morning Vietnam. Saw this with my friends. I don't know if Robzilla was with me, though. But I remember seeing this with the friends. We really enjoyed this. It's a funny film. But what really surprised us was how dramatic it was as well. This isn't just played for laughs. There's some serious scenes here. And that's why I believe this was Robin Williams' second Oscar nomination. He really showed his range. Of course, he's got his improvisation. He's got his comedy going on here. But when stuff goes down, actually, you kind of see it here. There's an explosion. That's a bar blowing up. He kind of has a breakdown. And he really sells it. So, yeah, that's one of the best things about this is watching his range played out here. And this, once again, is another bid for him to not just be taken as a comedian, but as a dramatic actor. Everybody's good here. You got Robert Wool, you got Bruno Kirby, you got Forrest Whitaker, a lot of great side characters. And frankly, I think it's kind of a beautiful movie. It's also kind of surprising how Vietnam has not changed much from what this movie shows us to what I've seen. Anyway, if you haven't seen this movie, you should. Number 3.
I've been doing mini lab work for over 20 years now. I consider it an important job.
Hi, Mrs. Yorkin. Can I get that address again?
Yes, it's
326 Serrano Terrace.
One hour photo. Holy Toledo. Robin Williams brings it, man. He got robbed on this one. I know he's had a couple of nominations, and by this time he had himself a win under his belt. He deserved to be mentioned again at the Oscars for this particular role. In this case, he plays a man who runs basically a kind of a Walmart photo booth back when we were developing pictures. Even mentions how digital cameras are not yet to the point where you could get the same kind of clarity in your pictures as if you got them developed. So he knew he was on his way out. That being said, he ends up getting obsessed with his family, and when he discovers that the husband is cheating on the wife, he becomes a bit murderous. It is such a dive into madness. He really, gosh, I mean, he is creepy as hell. Because he is so nice and so sweet, and there's such a dark underbelly. I mean, it really is just layers to this character that Robin Williams is playing right here. I've seen some great performances. There's a couple more that I liked a lot more, but only one that I could say is better than this. I like the number 2. But only the number 1 that's coming up is better than his performance in here, and he should have won for both of them. Number 2.
Why? 10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
You knew that this was going to be here. You knew it was going to be somewhere anyway, right? I mean, this is from all the stories we were told. He improv'd. They drew the animation around what he had to say. It's an iconic role to the point where Will Smith said, there's no way that you could ever live up to Robin Williams, so you just got to do your own thing and hope for the best, and all that kind of worked out for him, too. But in my opinion, Aladdin will always be animated, and the genie will always be voiced by one person, and that is Robin Williams. I love this film, love the music, love the animation, and yes, love Robin Williams as the genie. And in my less than humble opinion, the number 1 Robin Williams performance is...
I am that degenerate and remove your presence! I like New York in June. How about you?
I was a manager of a movie theater when Fisher King came out, and I remember watching it constantly. Like after we got done with work, I would put it on. We used to do that with movies. We would check them out, make sure everything was copacetic, and I just loved seeing this movie. I've seen it so many times in the theater. Thought it was a great character piece. Robin Williams is so amazing in this. This is my favorite of Robin Williams movies, as well as his performance. Jeff Bridges, as always, does a solid job. Mercedes Rule, Amanda Plummer, is not annoying for once. She's actually charming in this movie. I loved this film. And it was dramatic. It was deep. It made you care for the characters. It made you laugh. It made you cry, as they always say. I want to see this movie again. I haven't seen it in a long time, actually. And now when I'm doing this list and I'm seeing these scenes pass by from the trailer, I want to put it on again. It's just that entertaining and enjoyable. I understand this is not going to be for everyone. This is not going to be Robin Williams' best movie. Some are going to pick Aladdin and such like that. And I get it. This is an acquired taste. It's a Terry Gilliam film. Some people love his direction. Some people think he's a little off kilter, and that's fine as well. For me, this is just about as perfect can get as far as movies are concerned. And I say that with no sense of irony whatsoever. Absolute entertainment. So there you go. That's my top 10 Robin Williams. What are yours? Let us know in the comments below. Don't turn off just yet because there's something really cool at the end here. I just have to get through the shill part. Please click like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and make sure your notifications are on so you don't miss anything. Cool things happen around these parts. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to our fellow film buffs out there, thank you very, very much for watching. And remember to stay extreme. Now enjoy.
Please, don't worry so much. Because in the end, none of us have very long on this earth. Life is fleeting. And if you're ever distressed, cast your eyes to the summer sky when the stars are strung across the velvety night, and when a shooting star streaks through the blackness, turning night into day. Make a wish. And think of me. And make your life spectacular. I know I did.